animals, pets, anyone you think is in need of good energy and prayers.
You can put yourself too.
Yes, and yourself also. And those that are in the distance, just put the names in the chat and we'll gather all those names later on. So it's still a bit early. Let's wait a few minutes to see if more people arrive. Do you know where the...
Yeah, right here.
Oh, I'll put it here.
How far along are you?
Any day now.
Any day.
Yeah.
Oh, we might have our first delivery.
Yeah.
Dang.
38 weeks.
How do you feel?
All right. Yeah, pretty good. A lot of heartburn otherwise.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you set up for?
What's that?
Where are you gonna have the baby?
Oh, at women's hospital.
Good.
Oh,
Good
good.
choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Have a shower later today.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice.
Congratulations. I hope it goes really, really well. We didn't see you before. Yeah.
For a while.
For a while. Babe in arms is okay.
Right. Maybe I'll be up there.
You're first?
Yes.
Wow. Hi, folks online. Nice to see you.
You
Who's
have-
that in the middle? Irina?
You're gonna have to use your...
I've
Oh,
got
you-
this one,
oh,
yeah. In blue? I can't quite read your name. Verena? Yes? Okay. First time we're meeting? You can turn on, you're allowed to speak. Unmute.
Hi, we met in Switzerland.
Ah, oh, you're in Switzerland. Yes,
Yeah.
hi. How kind of you to
Hi.
join. Really happy to
Oh.
see you.
Yeah, me too.
Hello, everyone, old friends. Daniel, Nancy, Mike, not yet visible, Charlie.
Mark Cooper. It's Mark.
Mac.
Mark, I think. Mark Cooper.
Mark. Okay.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Janet Montes Diaz, one of the leading students that leads Sunday meditation. Some of you may have seen me last week. I was a surprise leader. So I was explaining to everyone that we pass around a book of names where we put the names of people we want to dedicate our practice to. For the people that are in the distance, they can put the names in the chat. And we'll gather all those names and read them at the end of our practice. So I want to welcome all of you. Some people are new, some people are people that we're familiar with. As you may already know me, I've been coming to that mountain for about 17 years, and it's become a very important part of my life. I feel I've benefited so much from coming every week, and so I continue to do so. Okay, so we're going to gather here today to do a practice, and this practice is really to help us be at ease, help us be in the moment, develop our attention, feel that we are in an expanse, feel at ease. Just be in the moment. And we're going to do this for a few minutes. After a while, I'm going to explain a practice that we do call the Hung practice, and it was a practice that was given to us by one of our leading teachers, which is a very well-known Lama in Tibet. He is Tibetan and lives in Tibet. He travels throughout China. In the past, he's been with us. It's very hard right now because of the political situation to be here. His name is Atsum Pelo Rinpoche, and he gave us a practice that we call the Hung practice. I'll explain it later. And then we're going to have a short talk on, I'm going to read a chapter from a book we've been reading called Comfortable with Uncertainty by Pema Chodron. And then we will discuss it. And we'll go back to a short practice. We'll do our dedication. We'll do our awe practice. And then we'll have time to just socialize and be with each other. So we always start off with what we call our aspiration prayers, and it's important to focus on just not ourselves, but on others. Everything we do in Tibetan Buddhism is for the benefit of others as well as ourselves. So one way to turn our minds to this is to do our aspirations. So here on the group practice prayers sheet, we have the aspiration, the four boundless thoughts. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. So now, let us settle. And the way we usually settle is by using what we call our 3 pillars. So the first pillar is to feel the contact of your seat to the cushion. Whether you're in a chair, on a cushion, just feel that you're being supported. You're being supported by this cushion, by this chair. And the support is actually coming from the very center of the earth. The earth itself is giving you that necessary support. So now we can settle and feel relaxed, knowing that we have that basic support. The other pillar is our skeletal structure. Our skeletal structure is supporting us, especially the spine. We want the spine to be straight, but in a very relaxed way, the natural S curve of the spine. And we have our shoulder blades that are just supporting us in a very easy way. So now we can relax all our muscles. Just relax all the muscles as you depend on the support of the skeletal structure. It's good to keep the mouth slightly open just to relax all the muscles on your face, around your neck. And just feel at ease. There is another pillar that is an internal pillar that we may not be familiar with, which we call the central channel. Within us, there are certain energy centers that move through the center channel, and there's one energy center in particular that is in the belly area, 3 finger width below the belly button, 3 finger width deep, which the Tibetans call the do. And in this area, a lot of the nerves of the body meet, and energy flows. There's energy there. And we want that energy to flow freely throughout the central channel that starts from the do and goes way up to the top of your crown. So you just want to know that it's there, to feel that you're in a position where that energy can flow, and know that it will be with you. Let's just feel those 3 pillars for a minute. Another important feature when we meditate is we tend to meditate with our eyes slightly open. You can try this. It's just a soft gaze in front of you. And one of the reasons why we do this is as we develop our attention, we want to just feel that throughout the day, you can feel that attention with you, that mindfulness. If you find this very distracting, it's fine to close your eyes, but you can try it. So, when we meditate, we try to keep our mind on a certain object, and in Tibetan Buddhism, we always, the easiest thing to use is our breath. The breath is always with us. The breath is always changing. We inhale, we exhale. And it's a way to be with your body and just be conscious of your body and your mind. So we're going to observe our breath. We observe as it goes through our nostrils. And a good thing to do is kind of visualize as you inhale, visualize that breath going down to the do, down to that energy cellar in your belly. And then as you exhale, you can kind of visualize the breath going, and then the energy going through that central channel. So we're going to do this for a few minutes. And as we do this, you're going to realize that you become distracted with certain thoughts. Now, this is natural, so you don't have to worry that you're doing anything wrong. If you find that you have become lost in thought, you just gently bring your thought, your focus back to the breath. You can say to yourself, thinking, let the thought go back to the breath. So you'll have to do this as many times as necessary, but always going back to the breath. So let us begin. Now we're going to do the home practice. The home practice is based on a sacred Tibetan syllable, which is the syllable hum. And in Tibetan Buddhism, it represents enlightened mind. And when we chant it, we just want to be we want to be aware of the sound, of the vibration. We want to feel how that vibration feels as we chant. How does your body feel as we chant this sacred syllable? And we will chant it, each person will chant it at their own pace. Just chant hung, hung, at your own pace, just for a few minutes. We will start and I will ring the bell when we will stop. Now observe, how do you feel? How does your body feel? How does your mind feel? Now go back to the breath. Observe the breath. As you inhale, exhale. Be with the breath. Yeah, let us chant home one more time. The people at a distance, if you'd like to unmute, you can join us and chant together. How do you feel? Just get a sense of it. Now go back to the breath. Just observe the breath. So the practice we just did is a practice that if you're new to meditation, you can do on your own. It would be wonderful that each day you just take the time to sit, observe the breath. And if you're new to meditation, you can start off in short 2-minute sessions. Just we call a mini sit, when we have 3 2-minute sessions, and just take a break within every 2 minutes and go back to observing the breath or chanting. And if you do this on a regular basis, you'll see that your attention starts to improve. It's easier to be in the present moment, to be relaxed, at ease. So I'd like to mention we're passing around a book of names. If you haven't had the opportunity to enter names in the book, you can do so now. And in the meantime, I'm going to read the next chapter of the book we've been reading, Comfortable with Uncertainty by Pema Chodron. And we're on chapter 64, and it's a very interesting chapter. What is karma? Karma is a difficult subject. Basically, it means that what happens in your life is somehow a result of things that you have done before. That's why you are encouraged to work on what happens to you rather than blame it on others. This kind of teaching on karma can easily be misunderstood. People get into the heavy-duty sin and guilt trip. They feel that if things are going wrong, it means that they did something bad and that they're being punished. But that's not the idea at all. The idea of karma is that you're continuing getting the teachings you need in order to open your heart. To the degree that you didn't understand in the past how to stop protecting your soft part, how to stop armoring your heart, now you're given the gift of teachings in the form of your life. Your life gives you everything you need to learn how to open further. So it's interesting, and I think everyone that is familiar with karma we always tend to kind of punish ourselves. Whenever something bad happens, you think, oh, I did really something bad, either in this life or in a past life. For those of us that believe in past lives, we tend to kind of think that we are bad in a certain way, and it's kind of, it takes time to let go of that thought. And you also have to remember that not all karma is bad. Some karma is good. The karma you have right now that we're together manifests as very good karma. And so it just takes time to think about it, to realize that people, I especially had a hard time thinking, well, the people that I know that have been bad to me in the past, well, maybe, I have to let go of that thought that they are the person that has wronged me, and just learn from what is happening to me, and learn to let go of blaming others, and learn to let go of punishing myself, and just be and learn. So would anyone like to add anything? Say anything or add anything to this?
How does that land with you? You're probably somewhat familiar with the idea of karma, or maybe not. the idea that what we do actually matters. It creates our present is created by our past actions, not just our individual actions, as this seems to emphasize, but also collective actions. So there's something called the environmental effects of karma. Very interesting in our day and age. Um, we created this world. Not we in our individual identity, but over time through our actions. That's how the world is created. That's one very powerful narrative in Buddhism. There's not, as you may know, a creator God. It's collective. So how does this land for you? Kind of saying we have a lot of responsibility. David.
Just appreciating that, I guess for me, a twist that this life, essentially karma, has brought me to this place where it's a learning opportunity at every moment. Like it's a chance to wake up because the karma has come about this way. We have everything. It's a lovely thought. It's an amazing thought. Well, thank you for Pema and for reading that piece.
A lovely thought, an amazing thought. Yeah.
Bringing you what you need.
Oh, I should give you. Thank you. Go ahead.
To me, the thought of bringing you what you need as opposed to, what you deserve as sort of what I took away from it. What
Say
you need
more
in the
about that?
moment. Well, what is appearing to you, what's in front of you is what you is a lesson to learn, is what you need in this moment, is what versus what is versus the punishment or versus a gift. It's more of what
If you can
need.
receive it that way.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. The idea that it's not punishment is actually very significant. I think kind of hard to grasp given our various upbringings usually in this culture.
I'm having that similar experience too, where I shifted from this American mindset of it being punishment because I had very grand ideas about what punishment was due somebody. But I've found it to be more of just like a natural things taking care of themselves in both positive and negative ways. Kind of realized this when I went to like a big pop culture convention and there was a celebrity there who was really kind of grouchy and people are paying for photos of him that he was just not engaging with his fans. And I thought like, oh, this person, their karma is probably they don't have the career they want because all these thousands of little negative seeds they're planting probably leads to things in their life that's not visible to me. So I don't need to be sitting here worrying about other people's punishment or my punishment or anything like that. It just seems to be sort of like a planted garden rather than somebody setting a fire is how I've started to envision it. I used to think of, somebody coming in and dropping a bomb on someone else's life, and now it's just little seeds you plant that either they come up maybe as poison in some ways or as pretty flowers in others, and I don't worry about tending to others' gardens. I just focus on my own.
It's a great metaphor because even when a seed comes up in a garden, a lot depends on what happens then. You know, if you take care of the garden, if you pull off the rotten leaves and help it grow, if the sun comes out, all those things. Yeah, it's really quite a complicated situation. It's not like, oh, I did one thing and this thing happens. There's that, but then there are many causal conditions that interplay. So, yeah.
Yeah, the collective piece is really resonating with me today. This world we build. And also thinking about, in Buddhism, a lot of karma comes up and talks about parents, and for a lot of times, parents can set up karma for you before you're setting up your own, so to speak. And there are these patterns that can pervade. And then, of course, in society has roads that you're supposed to walk on and trains you're supposed to take. And these are all karma from action, karma meaning action, from a collective of people that decide kind of where you go every day and if you go to school or not, and all these kinds of things that change all these patterns in your life from this collective pressure. So again, it's not just my accountability, it's all the other collective actions around that create, like you're saying, this garden of activity that eventually we kind of wake up to, I guess, to expand a bit beyond the narrow, oh my gosh, this is all my fault kind of thing, or all their fault. It's just this, a lot of causality beyond my actions as well. So.
As with many things in life, the teachings on karma can be internalized in quite destructive ways. I've seen people who really shame the bits out of themselves because of something bad has happened, and they impose a fair bit of shame on it. It's not the optimal way of making use of the teachings. The optimal way of making use of the teachings is to recognize that we have opportunities to build positive habits and influence our future with what we do in the present. And we take whatever steps we can to do that. And certainly in our culture, the inclination to self-criticism, self-blame, and shame is so tempting. I think we just need to be mindful of that. It's not inherent to the schema of karma, but it's very easy for people to go there. It's not the most positive way of using it. The most positive way of using it is, how do I make choices? And what are the positive choices that I can do both individually and collectively to support myself moving into the future and others moving into the future? So it's a bit dicey, and we do need to, as with everything, instruments can be misused.
Anyone else? Yes, Selma. Very quick.
Well, after reading this, listening to this chapter, maybe the teachings are the ones who are pushing me nowadays to go back and fix actions that I'm. And I noticed, I was like, what is happening to me? But yeah, I want to go back and fix actions that I have caused. All right. So now it's sinking on me like, maybe unconsciously are the teachings. I don't want to wait for my next lives. I just want to fix it right now.
Yeah.
And talking about collective karma, many times I have felt that since I signed the contract to become a citizen here in the United States, now I kind of carry that karma of our historical actions as a country. So I feel sometimes my family in Mexico, they don't understand me, but I do feel that I'm responsible for whatever we have done to other countries and what we are constantly doing. So I'm very conscious of that collective karma that I'm in right now.
That's very touching. So, the thing about, so the teaching on karma is very much related to, so then what do? We've all done terrible things, pretty terrible in this life, and probably very terrible in past lives. So what are you going to do? And so what you're bringing up, there is a ritual practice or just acknowledging, not shaming and blaming, but I did this, not good, I'm sorry. Maybe even say to the person, but maybe you can't, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again. I really try not to do it again. And even as you know, those of you who are doing the foundational practices, the Vajrasattva practice, you imagine, at least for a moment, you will never do it again. You allow yourself to imagine yourself never doing this thing again that you, part of you knows you're kind of likely to do again. So what you're bringing up, that's how all karma can be purified. And the first step is to acknowledge, not so good. I don't want to do it again. I'm sorry, which is different from I'm terrible. Everything can be purified because our nature ultimately is actually pure, luminous. That's a very important teaching in the Mahayana, and very particularly important in a way in the Dzogchen traditions that we follow. So no matter what you've done, I once was translating for a Rinpoche and somebody told him that they had murdered someone. And Rinpoche just, I mean, he was very, he didn't go, get out of here, I can't talk to you. He really had, I think that when he explained the circumstances, they were very mitigating circumstances. I don't actually remember what they were, but I remember thinking, oh, well. But I was watching Rinpoche and watching myself because I was shocked, and Rinpoche didn't show any shock. He just listened. And then, of course, the person was bringing it up because they had great regret. And yeah, everything can be purified. Doesn't mean it was okay to do it, but it's not who you are, ultimately.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a huge issue, it turns out. Purification is magnificent, and just this is going to summarize so much that could be talked about at length. But when we look at any kind of addictive behavior, from addictive eating to pornography to alcohol to drugs, shame is actually the fuel for the ongoing addictive behavior. And learning how to make use of support and understanding information in making changes to our actions is a very, very subtle but very, very significant human training for anyone. But for sure, feeling like a piece of shit does not help us change our behavior typically, despite what many, many religious organizations try to impose on people.
Okay, so let us.
Okay, well, we'll sit on that. It's a theme that will come up again, you can imagine.
Yes,
Forever.
absolutely. Okay, so I'd like just have briefly Emily say about our upcoming events, and we actually have one right after this, right?
That's the main one, I think. You want to say something about now.
Yeah, so today, just after meditation, 15 minutes after meditation, we're going to have our annual meeting. I wrote this beautiful, really stunning, I'm sure, annual report for the year 2023, and we'll go over it very quickly, give some recognition, and we'll do a little bit of question and answer. So please feel free to join us. We are going to talk too about our goals that we had this year, some of them we've met because the year's pretty close to being over, and some of our goals looking forward. Next Sunday, September 1st, is our first Sunday of the month. We have a special teaching at 10:30. We have meditation with the lamas leading at 11, and we will have lunch, a free lunch, vegetarian, home cooked at noon, where we spend time together getting to know each other as a community and just some casual conversation. Tuesday, September 3rd, we begin our new Teaching Tuesday series, The Promise of Every Moment. A lot of the series will focus on exploring our everyday experience of our mind. So that's no matter where you are off the cushion, you can have a mindful experience. Saturday the 7th, Brilliant Basics will meet with a Lama meeting online. Sunday the 8th, after meditation at 12:15, we're going to have a welcome event. That's an event, a free event to get to know us, some of our programs, and to talk with the lamas and ask questions. The following Saturday, the 14th, Brilliant Basics will meet again for a peer meeting. Sunday the 15th, Dzogchen Cycles will have a peer meeting. Tuesday the 17th, we will have our next Teaching Tuesday, the second Teaching Tuesday session of the series. Thursday, the 19th, we're going to have a new series called Buddhism in 4 Words. It's free. It's at 7 p.m. We are having 4 sessions where we focus on one word each session. First session is Buddha. Karma will be one of the words. The other words are enlightenment and meditation. So that'll be a really good series for beginners and old timers alike. Friday the 20th through Sunday the 22nd, we have our Severance Retreat with Dzogchen Cycles. And Tuesday the 24th, we have a special event called How the Dawn Mountain Teachings Fit Together. There are many practices in Tibetan Buddhism. We're going to talk a little bit about the ones Dawn Mountain teaches and how they go together. And we'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you, that's wonderful. Are you going to put that in the chat? Really?
I hope they all heard that.
Well, we heard.
Our calendar.
Okay. Would you send it to us, even though it's on our calendar? When you get a chance, when you get a chance.
Okay. I just want to remind everyone that everything we do here, we do it, thank you to the generosity of those that come here. And if you'd like to give a donation, you can do so. We have here at the, for the people that are here, we have a box at the entrance that we use to gather donations. And for those that are at a distance, you can go to our website and click on donate. Okay, so we're going to do a short meditation, just the closing, what we call our closing meditation. Which will be basically like our first meditation. So let us begin with the 3 pillars. Just notice the contact of your seat with your cushion. Know that this contact is coming from the very center of the earth. We can relax, knowing that we are supported by the earth itself, by our cushion, our chair. Now notice your skeletal structure. You have a straight spine, and your shoulder blades are giving you the support you need. You can relax now all the muscles of your body. Just relax. Slightly open your mouth just to relax the muscles at the neck. And be aware now of the 3rd pillar, which is the central channel that is flowing energy from the center that we have in our belly area, the dough. The energy flows all the way up to the top of your head. Be with that a moment. Now let us go back to the breath. Notice the breath. How you inhale, exhale. Just be with the breath. And if thoughts come, just let them go very softly and go back to the breath. Now let us chant Hum just for a few minutes. Get a sense of how your body feels, how your mind feels. Now go back to the breath. Okay, so now we're going to read the Book of Names. So today we are dedicating all the good merit we've received from doing this practice today to Bobby, Melissa, Camachos, Andrew, Gina, Benjamin, Gaza, Keith, Maggie, Matt, Ruth, Reggie, Amber, Oak, John, Lynn Pickerton, Stony Bird in the Bardo, Sylvia, Rolando, Sky, Nathaniel, Emma, Safe Birth, Baby Noah, Lee, Ed, George Dennis, Mulberg, Ami Devi in the Bardo, Barbara, colon cancer, Michelle Hunter, Stephanie Cleary, Wales Westlake, Rosalie Hyde, Annie P., Beata, Sam, Victor Perez, Bob Pierce. Let us do the sharing the merit prayer, which is dedication, right? On the prayer list.
By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, every one, to reach to that very ground.
And the blessing.
With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom, shine within us everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala.
Now, we're going to do the Ah practice. And Ah is another sacred syllable. Ah is reality itself, expansiousness, spaciousness. So as we chant Ah, we're chanting this as a way of sending out all the blessings that we've received from this practice to everyone, to all beings everywhere, here on our planet, here and throughout the universe itself, all sentient beings. So let us chant one Ah together. So I'd like to thank all of you for being here today. I hope to see you again, and of course, if you'd like to stay and be with us for our next event in 15 minutes, you're more than welcome to, or just stay and talk and get to know each other.
And thank you, Janet.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you, Emily and Shane. And good to see all of you online. I hope you'll stay or come back. 12:15. We'll start regaling you with what's been and what's to come.
There, everybody.